What's up? What's up? It's your man, Sports Nut, aka Akintunde, aka the Negro Whisperer. Oh man, I got a doozy for y'all. Y'all might want to just hit that like button right now. Share this. So yeah, Tekashi69, he's back home from his nationwide Test Your Gangster tour. And, he's back home in the comfy confines of Brooklyn, New York, where he gets a lot of love. Him and his clique, they get a lot of love. So, he goes around saying he's the king of New York. That, draws the ire of J Hood, ex-D Block member, who comes out and says, basically, Tekashi's not the king of New York. The only reason he's calling himself the king of New York and acting so reckless and, arrogant is because he's protected by some real gangsters, without mentioning who those gangsters were. So then Waka Flocka, who was not involved in this at all, but is also a blood from, I guess, another set or whatever. I don't know. Shit, maybe he can clear that up. He said that, J Hood was dry snitching. Shout out to the homie on Real Talk Media, man. This is why I got this video for.
And this what he said. I told my little homies I ain't gonna say nothing to a lot of people, but I'm not the biggest 6ix9ine fan, but the young nigga making some cool music. And a lot of niggas don't like how this little nigga making music. I understand it. I'm not in the middle of none of y'all little niggas beef, but to hear a lot of people say, yo, he fake. He only moving around because he with the high 20 and he with big homies. And to me, y'all motherfuckers dry snitching. Y'all niggas letting the cops know and the whole world know that 6ix9ine were real gangbangers, real big homies. So now it makes the cops, or whoever want to fuck with them in a bad way, not no street shit. We talking about some dry snitching shit. A lot of y'all niggas out here really dry snitching. Yo, watch your fucking mouth, man, because shit can turn on you trying to turn over on another nigga. Take a break from that.
So yeah, this is funny, man, because, actually, I had no idea about the high 20s and none of that stuff in the Treys up until Waka Flocka mentioned it. So I went and looked them up. I did y'all a favor. Thanks, Waka Flocka, for the info. Because I ain't get this from J Hood. I got this from Waka Flocka. So the 9 Trey Gangsters, also referred to as the 9 Trey Gangsters, are a set of United Blood Nation street gang. This is Wikipedia. Because remember, the cops don't know anything about these guys. And the only way they found out about these guys was from J Hood. Before J Hood, the cops knew nothing about the 9 Trey Gangsters and their affiliation to Tekashi69. I mean, the fact that every city he went to, he needed police protection from, and the police had to be, if not protection, the police had to be on guard, because there was going to be an impending incident from Minnesota to LA to San Antonio. Everywhere he went, all across the nation, different time zones, the police had to be ready because they knew he was coming and they knew it was going to be possible violence in their city. But nobody knew who he was with until J Hood said something. J Hood must be the most powerful person in the world, and the police in the United States must be the keystone fucking cops. So they are a set of United Blood Nation street gang, the latter of which is the set of Blood street gang. The gang was established in 1993 at Rikers Island Jail Complex in New York City. So it was established inside of a prison, but the police didn't know nothing about this till J Hood said something. And J Hood actually didn't say nothing, but Waka Flocka said something. This shit confusing already. And operates on the east coast of the United States. The gang has operated in the United States of in the U.S. state of Virginia and other states. It has allegedly been engaged in sex trafficking of their women and racketeering in Virginia, North Carolina, New York, Maryland, and other areas. The gang was also allegedly involved in the distribution of illegal drugs, including heroin, cocaine, crack, ecstasy, marijuana, and prescription painkillers in these areas. Further allegations include dealing in counterfeit U.S. currency and using counterfeit currency to finance wholesale drug purchases. The gang has been investigated by the FBI and various gang task forces in Virginia and bordering states. It has also been investigated by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency. But according to Waka Flocka, nobody knew nothing about them until until J Hood said something. In June 2011, Robert Snoop Christie of Trenton, New Jersey, was alleged to be the leader of the gang. In February 2014, press release, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Virginia stated that Thaddeus Snow, nicknamed Storm of Manassas, Virginia, was the leader of the gang. Manassas, stand up. I canvassed out Manassas. Who would have knew the leader of the Bloods, the 9 Trey Gangsters, would have been from Manassas? Stand up, Manassas. Wow. Get the fuck out of here. In July 2006, approximately 60 members of the gang were arrested. Well, that's not possible because they didn't know anything about it until J Hood said that Tekashi was being protected by some high-level gangsters. Wait a second, what the fuck? Alright, I ain't even gonna get into all of that, but that's typical gang shit. So let's hear about the high 20s. So that would be the high 20s would be the Bloods, okay. That's a blood clique. So this guy, this is in the Niagara Gazette. And this is a guy named Red, who's a gangster from the Bloods. And he's talking about his activities inside the gang. So he said, you put in some work or you shoot the 31. And he said, what is the 31? Everyone in your blood set, you fight every one of them for 31 seconds. Everyone all at once. If that sounds tough, putting in some work isn't necessarily easier. You can go on a robbery or something, Red says. You make sure you bring something back to your Bloods like an offering. For Red, the blood life came early. He was in elementary school while the gang member who brought him in was in his 20s, but from my hood. Okay. So we're going to get it. He talks about his thing. And then he says, the Bloods organize in a structure that sounds almost like the military. You enter as a soldier and work your way up through the ranks of 5 levels of generals. After that, the organization becomes almost mob-like, like organized crime underbosses. The Bloods have a low 0 to 20s and a high 0 to 20s. So I think that's what Waka Flocka was talking about, the high 20s. In the Bloods, the role of Godfather is known as the big homie. There's even an elite team, a group of enforcers who keep discipline in the ranks. So you got to work your way up from the low 20s to the high 20s. So that's what Waka Flocka was talking about which the police already know. And I'm not trying to put Waka Flocka on blast like he's snitching either. It's just ridiculous, this whole snitching thing. Like, what the fuck? Like, they got, this is Wikipedia. Like, there's pages of articles about the 9 straight gangsters. You know, it's pages of articles about them. In different states. Like, it's not like, and if Tekashi, I mean, look what they did to, what's your face's crew? Bobby Shmurda crew. Like, you think they don't know who these little rappers? Everybody in Bobby Shmurda's clique got 90 years. Like, all this pages and pages about these guys. And it goes on for infinity. Like, if I clicked every page on this that was about the 9 Trey gangsters, this video would be 2 days long. Okay? But now we know what the high 20s is. So the high 20s are like the guys that are, you know, the top of the top in the game. So yeah, they were formed in '93 in Rikers Island, and nobody and the police don't know about them. And how many lives has Tekashi done from his hood? All the facial recognition software they have nowadays. All the detectives that know everybody in the drug task force in these neighborhoods haven't put one and one together. This nigga does a live from his hood. Like every day, with all the gangsters on camera coming in front doing their little thing, throwing up signs. It's just ridiculous that we would be like, I mean, I do believe snitching exists, not as much because people are scared, but this whole thing that like, snitching is thrown out there too much as a different, you know, snitch is thrown out there too much. It's just not real. So yeah, and J Hood even said that. He said, "Look, you snitching." He said that to Waka. Nobody knew about the high 20s and the 9 Treys. We ain't know nothing about that. You know, that's blood gang structure. As I said in there, the guy said in there, for real blood. Low 20s and high 20s. High 0 to 20s. And this is a great article. You might guys want to go read this, called Bloods, the Gang Life. It's written by a guy who basically dictated the words of an actual Blood member. And then you go on YouTube and you see, like, it's interesting, like, how many Bloods are actually talking about the gang themselves on YouTube. Like, it's not even like it's just incredible. Like all these documentaries about actual Bloods. South Carolina, Bronx, New York, LA, California. Actual Bloods who are in the gangs, Inglewood, telling everything they know about the gangs on YouTube. Like, Edenwald projects in the Bronx. These are all Center Park Bloods, Inglewood. I mean, these are all documentaries. Swan Blood, the family of Swan Blood. Long Island Street Gang Bloods. All these are guys involved with the gang, standing in front of a camera, talking for hours on end about the things that go on in the gang. I just don't understand what is like. Because I know it's going to be people in my comment section saying I'm snitching. Am I snitching by showing you these videos? Man, you showing videos. Now the cops know where to go. Look, if they want to find out about gangs, all they got to do is look at your video and see what videos to look at to find out everything that's going on in the gang. See? If you wouldn't have made this video, the cops wouldn't know nothing about what was going on in these gangs. We're talking about hundreds and thousands of videos on YouTube of blood gang members talking about gang activities, sitting in front of or standing in front of cameras talking about blood activities. If I had a camera, I think I could make a documentary on the blood. These niggas seem willing to talk to cameras. And I understand it. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. Because, I mean, it ain't nothing. That ain't what's going. Everybody already knows. Well, some of y'all just found out when J Hood said that Tekashi was being protected by some OG gangsters. But according to Waka Flocka, some of y'all didn't. I mean, some of y'all didn't know. So I guess y'all gonna have to do y'all research, man, and make sure you do not show this video to the police, because the police don't know nothing about the Bloods. So don't show them my video, because they gonna find out everything that they've been missing out on. They don't, police and the task force and the neighborhood beat cops don't know anything about the blood gang. So don't show them my video, because I would hate for them to, you know. You did? My thumb getting tired. Scrolling and shit. No bullshit, like literally I'm getting carpal tunnel with my thumb. Like, off the no bullshit. And I could do this for another 2 days and not be done with all the videos about Bloods. Of blood gang members standing or sitting in front of cameras or walking people through their hood talking about the gang. And not saying there's anything wrong with it, but there's something wrong with alleging, like, kind of like intimating that J Hood is like blowing the cover off of the Blood Gang. You know what I'm saying? Like they was good till like everything was all good to this day when it ran his motherfucker. All right, y'all, man. Peace.